What's going on YouTube? Claykeysalt back again with another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. In today's video, Young Sephiroth is here, baby! We got all of his weapons. We're gonna go over each of them. We're gonna go over his banner, if he's worth pulling for, and what I think about his character and how you should build him. So let's get into it. So Sephiroth is going to be a unit you could build physical or magic. I do believe in the beginning of the Sephiroth's life cycle, we're going to be building him more magic because of his banner items is going to be an ice magic damage kit set for him. But he could go either way. He has weapons for either one. We'll talk about those. Let's look at the gear, the old costume. And a lot of people are saying it looks like Aqua, kind of looks like Riku. Remember, Nomura created Final Fantasy VII characters, worked on the art on the original Final Fantasy VII, made Kingdom Hearts, and now working on this game. They are all going to look a little similar. I do agree it looks like Aqua. Does not look like Sephiroth to me. Not a big fan of this costume aesthetically. So if I were to get this costume, I'd be switching right back to the soldier outfit. Just doesn't scream Sephiroth or like... something I'd want on Sephiroth, I guess. It's not a terrible costume, just not aesthetically, just not something pleasing to me. So again, like I said, boost magic attack. When you're building Sephiroth, if you're going to go the Edge Wings ice build, you want ice damage up and then magic attack up, obviously, because again, you're going magic damage. Looking at his Frostblade Arcanum, is this costume great? It's phenomenal. Plus 35%. Ice damage. Okay, that's insanely strong. It's probably the strongest costume, if not the second strongest costume in the game. And strangely enough, if we think about it, what is the ranking event? Week 2, Ice and Fire. Weird that the Sephiroth would come out with this ice for the thing. It's just like any Square Enix game. They're following suit with what they've done, where a mobile game, where the ranking system, they normally release a unit that's really good for that ranking system to get you to pull. Makes sense, and just expect that in the future if you haven't really played any other Square Enix mobile games. That's really how they like to do it. So very, very strong. If you want to build up your Sephiroth, highly recommend this. Very, very strong costume. Looking at his weapon, again, it is going to play into that ice damage. If we look, we have Aerial Frostblade, deal 440% magic ice damage, range single enemy, boost magic attack, and then we have the boost ice potency, which again is going to give us, let's see if we get this all the way maxed up here, which is going to give us a lot of ice damage, ice ability damage to let us go in there and do our thing. Looking over ahead is materia boost. He has ability damage boost for both physical and magic, which is nice. Again, you can build him either way, but again, his second slot for this weapon specifically will be magic ability damage plus 20%, and then he has the X sigil boost, which, you know, I don't know how much I like these going throughout the game, because what if they don't have X? You know what I mean? They don't have X against the enemy, and it's like you have to put an X materia there to get this buff. It's kind of, I don't know, it kind of pigeonholes you, where these are just boost your attack. You can use any materia as long as it's magic or physical. You know what I'm saying? But this weapon is very, very strong, and it has a lot of magic attack, as you can see, when you get this bad boy, this bad puppy maxed out. So very, very strong weapon for Sephiroth. This will be the main build. This will be in his main hand if you want to build him up. And for the ranking event coming out, the dungeon event, this will be your go-to if you end up pulling on this banner. But not to be outshined, we have the Bald Eagle, which is also pretty freaking insane. Boost physical attack, but also boost ice potency. So even though it boosts physical attack, the ice potency could be good for you, even for Sephiroth and the sub equipment, if you don't like running this character, for example. I know a lot of people, myself kind of included, we want to run the original Final Fantasy VII cast. Not sold on the new members yet. Maybe Glenn, but I don't know. But it doesn't have a ton of magic attack. It's more of a physical damage weapon. But let's talk about this ability because it's really strong. It deals physical non-elemental damage, single target, but it has a crit rate. So any ability that has this crit rate could hit bigger if it hits that crit, right? So that is actually very important. Also, ice resist is decreased, potency high. So in this game, you have 3 tiers of breaking. You have low, mid, or high. High is the highest one, and it's very, very good. So we are breaking the opponent's ice resist to do even more ice damage. So again, these weapons will be used against things that'll be weak to ice, like the dungeon that's happening. So it'll be very, very good there. A duration of 22 seconds, pretty long. And then you can extend it if you use it again. You can extend it plus 7 seconds. Again, max potency high. So some of these abilities will have high or mid here, and they'll have a max potency of high. So if you use it again, it can push it to the high range. But for this one, it's high and high, so you're good to go. If you get it at base stat, though, it goes mid. See how it says mid? So you'll put it down to the mid level. If you use it again, it can go to the high level. Some items say like mid, where you can't push it to that tier 3, but this weapon will allow you to do so. Looking at its materia here, if you max it out, we have attack boost, physical attack boost, and then, which would be physical or magic, and then we have ice ability damage plus 30%, which I wish this was over on old Sephiroth's weapon. instead of it being the X sigil boost, but that's okay. Maybe I'll learn to really appreciate the X sigil boost moving in the future. So overall, again, we have to look out for the Halloween event if you really want those costumes. I'm assuming, looking at the data mine, there are going to be some free Halloween stuff, but again, the premium will probably be Cloud and Aerith. We don't know for sure yet because of the old data mine can never be fully trusted, but I think this is strong enough, especially with that event coming out, and Sephiroth is going to be a character a lot of people are going to use. This banner is good enough to definitely pull one. Both weapons you should be happy with. This weapon's really insane with the ice resist down. Anything in this game that does elemental damage, like if you guys haven't been getting your summons, I was kind of questionable about leveling the summons up. I was like, I don't know, they don't seem that strong. They're insane for elemental damage when something is weak. For example, Ifrit. You go in there, you're doing the multiplayer. If you have your Shiva maxed out, use it instead of your limit burst because it will do a ton of damage. So elemental damage is going to be king here in this game, in my opinion, so far, reading into it. So I think this is something you should definitely look forward to getting when you see something that can lower the ice resist or lower the elemental resist. And this game is very elemental based. Each fight is going to be a certain element. You want to build ice team, fire team, earth team. This weapon is going to be, by far, hands down, one of the best ones for an ice team. Very, very strong, and they're definitely trying to make us use that character because they made this so strong. So, banner, very, very good. Moving on, I want to talk about his other weapons you can see here in the wish list. So, I'm still on, my wish list still has Cloud's Murasame because Cloud is one of my strongest characters. Lightning, I'm still building up my lightning team. I want that. Now, it was a hard choice between that or the Maritime for the water because I don't have that built up yet. But I'm going to stick with the Murasame. I want to make it really, really strong as I can. But looking at Sephiroth's weapons, we have a ton to go through. So this is the featured one we just talked about. This one right here, Nameless, everybody gets a hold of. So I think this is the one that everybody got free from the live stream. If you guys remember, we got one from the live stream. It's going to deal 150% physical non-elemental damage. It has crit on it, which is cool. Also, magic defense is decreased, okay? And it has a potency of low, and it can only go up to mid. Remember, now you can cast it twice, it can go up to mid level. If we max it out somehow, it goes from mid to mid, so you can never go to that high tier. You can never get to that tier 3. And then it has boost HP and boost lightning resist. So this weapon is more of a defensive weapon because one of the things in this game so far, at least the level that we see that we're fighting, you need around 4,000 HP to survive a lot of the attacks. On the higher tier stuff, like 4,000 HP is kind of my goal. Anything higher than that is great. And a lot of characters, sometimes you got to sacrifice offensive capabilities to make them survive. So this weapon seems more to me, it has magic defense down, which is great. You'll do more damage. But because of these abilities here, it's more of a item that if you don't have anything else better, or you want to slap this in to get more boosted HP or more defense, that's what this item will be for. Not really an offensive juggernaut. The next weapon we have here is the Glare. Hopefully I'm saying that, Glare. We have a sweeping slash, deal physical, non-elemental damage. So again, a lot of weapons physical, a lot of weapons magic, so you're going to have to decide which way you want to build them. I think the strongest one right now is magic, plus a lot of people already have Cloud build up, which would be physical, so you'll be good to go with this. And it has crit rate 10%, boost physical attack, and boost limit break potency. So if you're wanting to build a limit break build, you want to go ham, this could really help you out. It goes up to 48, which is pretty strong. We can see a 540 physical attack here, and we have the crit on top of it, which is nice. It is all enemies though, so it's an AoE weapon. So the potency on this will be lower, so it'll hit less. If you're trying to use a single target, it'll hit less. So this is more of a sweeping hit, maybe for farming. There will be some times in dungeons or the tower where you are going to need to be able to take out a lot of enemies at once. You can't just sit there and sit back on your single target. Well, if you're strong enough, you can, but if you're strategizing, you want that AoE, this could be good for that. We have an attack boost, ability damage, and then we have earth ability damage boost. So maybe this could be your weapon on your, if you want to use Sephiroth and earth damage, this could be your earth damage ability weapon. So again, you're building different team comps for different elements. This could be something to look forward to, but I don't have that on my checklist. One of the ones I do have on my checklist, which I think is one of his strongest weapons that he has, that is not his banner weapon. This is probably the second strongest weapon, in my opinion, you want to go for. Aonabi? Aonabi, I want to say it like that. We do have the boost HP here, which sometimes could be kind of like a downer because that's not an offensive capability. But again, you do need defense to survive in this game. A lot of the attacks hit hard. We have boost ability potency, which is great, boosting up damage. We do have this kind of like a hybrid weapon. It is both physical and magic damage here. But you're going to use it more on the magic side, and I'll tell you why. If you look at the ability, Frenzied Stance, and this is why it's so good. Let's go back to the normal one so you can see if you just pull it straight out the box. Magic attack is increased mid, so you buff yourself magic attacks mid. Extended plus 12 seconds can go to high just straight out the box. So you can buff yourself. And again, we're getting into buffing, debuffing, elemental resist down. That is all the good stuff that makes the game strategically strong and makes you really have to build up your team and understand the buff duration and how you want to do it before you hit your big hits. This baby can go to high magic attack up, which again, the Ice build is magic, right out the gate. So it's great. It also puts a regen to yourself. And then magic heal is cast, potency 11% healing, so it heals yourself as well. This is a great side piece to that ice piece we just talked about because of the magic attack up. Sephiroth has a limit burst you can use that also buffs up, kind of buffs himself up. In tandem with this, it could work great. You could always maybe have a buff up to be doing even more damage. I really like this materia here. Looking over here, we have attack boost, and heal boost. So, and it also keeps him alive. Again, it's helping offensively. You know, it has okay stats. You know, it's kind of in between, so it can go in a physical build or magic build. But the magic attack up maybe leans you towards magic, but we do have the ability to heal yourself. So that's why this weapon, I think, is very, very strong. I sadly need to get this bad boy. So we're going to be doing some summons on that banner. I hope I end up pulling this weapon. I think it's very, very good. I don't think I'll ever use the heal boost. I never put a healing material on him, I don't think. But if, you know, if I ended up having a heal materia that was super stacked with stats, because essentially you need 1 or 2 slots in your materia slot to take care of a sigil and an element. And that last one, you know, it could be anything. I throw anything in there sometimes because I just want the stats, right? Materia is so hard to get good stats on percentages. But Ionibi is a great weapon. You guys let me know how to say that in the comments because I suck. Moving on to this weapon, Northern Lights, I think it's one of his worst weapons that he has, sadly. It is a defensive weapon, but at the same time, its ability is actually not that great. Deal 510 physical, non-elemental damage, range shield target with a crit on it. Also, physical attack is decreased. So this weapon, it has more physical attack. It does physical, so again, for a physical build if you want. But boost magic defense, boost fire resist. Again, that boost fire resist may come in handy when we're trying to take on higher tier fire bosses. So you got to build defensively sometimes, but its ability just isn't that strong. Lowering the physical attack. It does do, let's see, it does high when it's maxed out, but it only goes mid, but then it goes to high after that. But we have a lot of abilities that can do this in the game right now. A lot of weapons, excuse me, that can do this. So if I pulled this, and I think I have actually, I wouldn't be too excited about it. It's probably his, I want to say, worst weapon, the one I'm most non-excited for. Next up, we have Prototype Crimson Blade. Now, this is going to be a Firaga Magic Elemental AoE. We got boost attack here. You know, it boosts physical and magic attack. So this is going to be like a hybrid weapon, but it is more, for me, it's magic because it does magic fire damage. So I wish this was just magic up. But that's okay. Boost attack, that's fine. It's kind of splitting it down the middle. It could go maybe into a side build of if you have no better options for a physical build too. Boost fire potency, great, because it is a fire damage. We can see it does have more magic attack on it by like 100, almost 100 there, which is nice. I am getting this essentially to take on Shiva, which would be fine. You know, we need to do fire damage. I need to farm Shiva. Again, farming these Espers are very good. I actually have one of these. I haven't summoned with my crystals on Sephiroth, but I have done some of my tickets that you guys get because they gave us a ton of tickets. Ended up pulling this bad boy, which I was really excited about. And I do like the materia slots because it's just ability damage, magic ability damage, magic ability damage. Clean and easy, can really fit anything you want in there. I think this is one of his better weapons if you need him in your fire team. Again, not the highest potency on the Firaga, but it is AoE and it is a fire weapon and has fire boost, fire potency, which you could use in another build for somebody else if you really want to boost up their fire and you don't want to put this on Sephiroth, or you don't want to run Sephiroth. I like this weapon a lot. It has a lot of utility. Next up, we have a CC Alloy Sword. This is going to be exactly like the sword we just talked about, but this is for lightning, okay? So this is for your lightning team. So if you want a team, eventually there's going to be a lightning dungeon or there's going to be a lightning boss. We need lightning damage. Cloud plus maybe Sephiroth on this sword, or you could give this sword to Cloud. It does boost magic attack here, so you know, the lightning potency might be something you might want to look into. There are a lot of lightning potencies in the game, so this would be a big miss on the Cloud if you were building him with the Murasame, but this is good if you're going for a... So again, just like I don't need to talk about it too much. Sorry, dog went nuts. You might hear him again. Cut off of that. Anyway, these two weapons are the same. It's just fire and lightning. They're the only difference there. But I have them on there because I do want to build these elemental teams with Sephiroth. Looking at this weapon, we have the Mithril Type Zero Katana. This is going to be physical defense increase. So it's going to be like a buffing, again, boost HP, boost magic ability potency, which is good. This is going to be another defensive capability, kind of. So we can see that it boosts up your physical defense. It goes up to high. It starts out as mid. But it has a max potency of high, so you can get it up there if you cast it twice, or you cast another. Somebody else casts a physical defense up, and then you cast this, it can push it up to high. It also applies a regen. You can see why this weapon is worse, in my opinion. This is more physical capability than the other sword we talked about, his Ione or whatever it's called, because it's not boosting up your attack. Now, while I do believe there are points of building defense and offense in this game, and we're slowly learning that, I just don't think this weapon is as good as that one, so that's why it's not on the wish list, but it has abilities to be able to be used. And last but not least, we have the Shinra Blade Model 1. We deal 500% magic, non-elemental damage, range single target, has crit on it, boost attack, boost ability potency. I think this is one of his other great weapons if you end up not getting the weapon on the banner to be able to use. It's pretty straightforward, right? And we have water ability damage. So again, everything on here has some way to make Sephiroth work in an element, it seems like. I don't know if I saw a wind one, but we did have earth. We have obviously ice on his banner, fire, lightning, and then we have this water one. So this would be his water ability, and that's why I have it on there. I don't think it's a bad, the Shock Blast isn't a bad ability. These aren't a bad boost ability potency. It's fine. But it would be like lower on the tier curve as far as which ones I would want. So most importantly, again, I think it's this one right here. I'm trying to learn them. This is the golden goose egg if you're talking about Sephiroth weapons that you want besides the banner one. I think the banner one's the best, and that is why I have it set up down like this. I almost did a full sweep of Sephiroth before I do these pulls, but I still want my cloud to be catching up to some of these people because I really haven't had the best of luck. I don't have any wallpapers that I can use, any new, you know how some people have cool wallpapers they can use. I haven't really pulled a lot at all, and I don't really have any of those. Like, I see people have some of these unlocked, or a lot of them unlocked. You can see that's all I have. So I'm really hoping these pulls end up going well for me. Please wish me luck, and I wish you guys the best of luck. But yeah, Sephiroth's banner pretty good. I was gonna say for Halloween, but I have a good supply here, so we're gonna try a little bit of luck, see if we can get some stamps, get his costume, because I want to be strong for the dungeon event. It's one of the things I'm looking most forward to in this game. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you disagree, agree with anything with Sephiroth, if you're pulling, saving for Halloween, whatever that good stuff is. Subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.